Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a November message for you that is meant to support you whenever you find this in November. It can also accompany any of the November readings that I've recently posted, particularly the November general reading. I'm going to clarify the Egyptian card axis of the horoscope wheel with an African tarot and finish off with an oracle card. If you enjoy this reading, if it resonates with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. It helps me grow. And I thank you for all the support that you give me, your comments, your shares, your love is appreciated. So Capricorn, let's get started with your overall energy. For November, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands has you questing, looking to discover more about your passions. There is something that has fueled your forward motion. You're in pursuit of something that means a lot to you. It is an expression of who you are, and you're exploring ways to implement this passion, to learn more about it, to express it in new and different ways. You are growing this passion through your exploration of greater expertise in this particular area. You may be discovering others who are doing what you want to do or are doing, and that are models for you, that are showing you new ways to integrate more information into your medium. And with the growth of technology, there are many obvious ways in which we can all grow in our ability to use more and more competent tools in our practice, whatever that practice is. So you're questing for new ways, you're discovering new aspects about yourself as you explore new ways of doing something that is important to you. Your 10th house, where others see you, where you are moving professionally, we have the Knight of Pentacles. You're questing here as well, but when it comes to your employment, to your position in the world, you are learning how to do things differently. You are planning the steps of your success with a view to being deliberate, reasonable, cautious, and procedural. You are taking your time. You are not in the rush and hurry that the Knight of Wands is. So your spirit is already flying in a new direction, questing, discovering, receiving. This is a joyful journey. But when it comes to your ability to implement this in your community on behalf of your collective, you are deliberate. You are taking your time. You're making all the most cautious steps so that you get it right, so that you're able to do this in the most practical and accessible way possible. In the first house, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords indicates, Capricorn, that you are being revisited by repetitive patterns of criticism and dismissal. You have been hurt by gossip, the inability of others to take you seriously, to invest in you, to recognize that your pursuits that make you happy, that may improve your life, are things to celebrate. And this is something, these scenes of failure, of hurt comments, of being not taken seriously, of not being celebrated, of not even being seen, are on your mind, are coming back to you, are repeating in your consciousness. You're revisiting hurts, revisiting comments that were made to you ages ago. One comment that totally upended your faith or trust in the relationships you have. This is coming through a long pattern of self-doubting, of internalizing the kinds of unkind criticisms you've received. And you are now in a phase of recognizing and considering the sources of this information. In the fourth house, your home, your family, your history, your unconscious, we have the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is all about this new direction that you're moving in, that is fueled by your passion, by your expertise, by your talent, by things you love and love to do, things that feel good to you. You're anxiously, eagerly making connections, making plans about seeing the things that you would like to do, making contact with people that are doing things that you would like to learn from. These are part of your testing out the waters of this new idea, this new direction, and you are waiting for the results of your testing, your early preliminary feelers to come back to you as affirmation that you are, or confirmation that you are on a path that is exciting, that lights you up, that is helping you to grow. In your seventh house, the house of your significant others, we have the Temperance card. The Temperance really indicates a really prolonged healing process that has been occurring over many, many years. It can even be decades in the case of some of you Capricorns. This is you really looking at the resources that you have, that you've internalized, and the external opportunities that are available, and a constant realignment, recalibration with matching those things so that there is balance, there's harmony in your life, so that you are able to see the impact of your healing work, your understandings, your abilities to improve things, your desire to improve things, and that has an impact on your community that you see and understand. It also allows your community, your relationships, your environment to speak back, respond to your efforts in a way that allows you to see the magic of your efforts. One of the pictures I have of the Temperance card, aka the Grand Alchemist, is this water dropping on a stone. And this is something that changes everything over time. So that positive effort, that investment we make against the most resistant edifice, eventually will wear it down. And I have this memory of the Temperance card as something we work at over time, and it begins to give us results even as it transforms the environment that we're in. So this is the magic that you're tapping into in your relationships, particularly in your relationship with yourself. I'm going to clarify the first house, Five of Swords, with the Sun in the second house and the Queen of Cups in the third house. You're definitely looking at your happiness, and this comes immediately after the Temperance card. So you're realizing that your happiness comes from the process of improving, of refining your purpose, of refining yourself, of altering, of transmuting these basic instincts and spontaneous reactions into sustained opportunities to find joy in your purpose. Your happiness is what gives you joy and uplifts you in your work, and this has an impact on everyone in your community, so that as you are enjoying finding love in your work, in your craft, you are transforming and uplifting all of those who are engaged in this craft to understand that this is a endeavor of purpose. This is a service you are creating for others. This is coming from a deep well of your empathy. And your empathy, ironically, is coming from a place of pain that you are facing at this time in your life. The way in which we are seen by others, the way in which we anticipate or understand ourselves through the eyes of others is something that you are learning to transform. You are understanding that it is not for others that you do the work you do. It is in concert with others. And that allows you to understand that people that are mean, people that are unkind to others for no other reason than they see them growing and changing and possibly moving away, is really a call for help. People that need support, people that are feeling unlovable themselves. And as they have perhaps unwittingly attempted to make you feel unlovable, you are now recognizing this is something you've overcome. And you've recognized that you are deeply empathetic because you've been through this experience. The Three of Wands in the fourth house is being clarified by the Page of Pentacles in the fifth house, and the Three of Swords in the sixth house. You are actually taking the time to learn how to develop and grow your relationships with your peers, with your friends, with your romantic partners. You're taking your time. You're being careful about who you let in, who you bond with, who you work with, and the ways in which you work with them. Again, this is very much informed by disappointments and rejections that you've experienced in the past when working with others. Your ability to step up as a caregiver, as a provider, has been taken advantage of. Your overgiving has been used against you to, in many ways, cut you out of a situation. You've learned that this is a reflection on others. However, this is also a reflection on you not taking full responsibility for your actions. Understanding, seeing yourself as a victim in the past, when now you understand that you played a role in those disappointments. You participated in that. You chose that at some level because of a lack of clarity and security about who you are and what you have to contribute. I'm going to clarify the Temperance in the seventh house with the Six of Pentacles in the eighth house and the Tower in the ninth house. As you're considering the way in which your relationships have been structured, how you benefit from your relationships and how you make the effort to contribute to those, you're understanding that overgiving is as much a sin, as much a fault, as much an error as not giving enough, not caring enough. You're learning how to channel and direct your empathy, your communication, so that you are no longer tempted to overgive in a situation. Assume that others need your help, and sometimes this is called a savior complex, Capricorn. Being a savior, it's also part of a codependency pattern where you actually believe that others need you to survive, to be okay. And you're really healing that as you look at the ways in which you haven't been okay, the ways in which you have been hurt by others, rather than helped. And this is helping you understand that it was not through a fault of yours, but that you must take responsibility for your relationships and your agreements in relationships. The vast restructuring of your spiritual growth and belief is being particularly challenged right now. The more you grow, the more you face your own demons, your own responsibility that you have failed at towards yourself, the more you understand the various kinds of disruptions that are occurring in our common world. And you're understanding that these disruptions and unpredictable events are the result of the inability to be responsible to your own needs. Inauthentically aligning yourself to save others when you yourself have needed the saving. You yourself are what is needing the healing. And it is really understanding better how you've structured your relationships so that you are not in a hierarchical advantage. Even as a savior, placing yourself as God in a relationship of some sort is placing you above those that you propose to help. And the falsity in that you are now finally discovering and understanding that you were not putting yourself in equity in your relationships. And that to recognize that you need caring for as well as the ability to care for others is completely changing your experience of reality and is completely allowing you to feel a kind of joy and happiness in facing your own challenges. Not blaming others, not believing you can heal others when you yourself are unhealed. This realization is giving you a kind of joy that you have rarely experienced and a kind of peace in who you are, in your natural talents, and the ability to grow those. The Knight of Pentacles in the 10th house is being clarified by the Nine of Swords in the 11th house and the Queen of Pentacles in the 12th house. Indeed, you are understanding the source of human suffering in many ways as you have faced your own suffering by putting yourself at the exposing yourself to the opinions of others about who you are, by surrendering who you are to the perception of others and believing that they somehow knew you better than you could know yourself. Understanding that you don't have to do that anymore as you've gone through and reviewed these unhappy events in your past, these disappointments, these failures that were upended by simply the rude and reckless words and behaviors of others who meant to topple you from wherever you were, who encouraged you to believe that you weren't qualified to achieve something that you wanted to achieve, that you were not worthy of the more that you are seeking. So it is an issue of worthiness, which you are now realizing and understanding who you are. And that is the Queen of Pentacles at this point. You're also the Queen of Cups when it comes to the way that you communicate with others lovingly by exposing your own vulnerability and the ways in which you learn to overcome those challenges. But it is internalizing your resourcefulness, knowing who you are better than others, and really holding and owning that place of resourcefulness. This is the Queen of Pentacles is poised to graduate into the position of the Empress. You are the picture of abundance and generation, a generation of new ideas, new contacts, new resources, infinite ways to take what you have to gain what you want. I'm going to finish up this reading, Capricorn, with a crystal oracle. And I pulled what looks like a world. It's a Shaddachite, and the key word is teacher. I have the divine wisdom of the universe within me, and I openly share it with the world. I'm going to leave this here, Capricorn. Thank you so much for this beautiful reading. I hope it's helped you. And until next time, Namaste.